we have Ahed Tamimi. Now, she's a young female Palestinian activist who has become a global recognized icon, all for her resistance to the Israeli occupation of Palestine. Now, she confronted Israeli soldiers who entered her yard in the West Bank village of Nabi Saleh and then proceeded to slap and kick them. Now, her mother was recording the whole thing, and later the video went absolutely viral. Now, a few days later at nighttime, the Israeli army's own camera actually documented soldiers entering her home, handcuffing and arresting her. Now, she was then subject to interrogation, and then later she was sentenced to 8 months in jail. Now, her mother was also imprisoned but never charged. Ahed was released after serving 8 months as a political prisoner and received worldwide support for highlighting the oppressive life faced by Palestinians. If anything, Ahed influenced a lot of people with her enormous amount of courage. Mohammed Salah comes in at number 9. Everybody knows Mohammed Salah. We just did a video about him also. Now, he's a Sunni Muslim Egyptian football player who not only achieved greatness but also influences a lot of people. Salah plays in the English team Liverpool, where he broke many records as well as he's won many accolades. He's also helped Egypt qualify for the World Cup, and Mohammed Salah played a great role in changing people's perspective about Islamophobia. His down-to-earth nature and his good manners forced people to see Islam as well as Muslims in a completely different light. His footballing journey also during his 2 seasons at Liverpool FC have had unprecedented effect on football fans, singing positive songs about Muslims.
It's good enough for you, it's good enough for me, it's good enough for two, and I'll be Muslim too. It's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. Sitting in a bus, that's where I wanna be.
That's literally a song that his fans made up for him. Another person on this list who we've made a dedicated video about is Maulana Tariq Jamil. Now, Tariq Jamil is a prominent scholar who is also one of the most powerful preachers in Pakistan. Now, he belonged to the Tablighi Jamaat group, and his lectures focus on the subject of self-purification, avoidance of violence, observance of Allah's orders, as well as pursuing the way of the Prophet Muhammad. Now, after completing pre-medical studies, Tariq Jamil was admitted to the King Edward Medical College in Lahore, Pakistan. It was there under the members of the Tablighi Jamaat that his focus changed to Islamic education. His Islamic training is from Jamia Arabia, where he studied the Quran, Hadith, Sufism, logic, as well as the Islamic jurisprudence. Tariq Jamil's background in the sciences allows him to explain the Islamic concepts in a way that appeals to modern urban Muslims. Additionally, his simple lifestyle, as well as his eloquence in Urdu, as well as speaking fluent Arabic, really catapulted his fame across the Muslim world. Now, we couldn't have this list without mentioning Imran Khan. Imran Khan was the international cricketer as well as the captain of the Pakistani national team, and that led to the victory in the 1992 Cricket World Cup. He became the Prime Minister of Pakistan back in the year 2018, and this was amid a huge expectations that he could bring the country forward on issues of governance as well as accountability and reduction of corruption. Now, he has endured a very tough first year. The economy was fragile. Reforms to the financial systems were very slow, and there are questions asked about the influence of the army in his government. Now, Imran Khan is considered to be a great leader and an influencer as he leads 217.4 million people in Pakistan, and he's also a major influence on the Pakistani diaspora. Amr Khalid comes in at number 6. Amr Khalid has been a televangelist to Islamic world since the year 1998. Now, he communicates through his TV shows as well as his web campaigns using Islamic ethics as a way to inspire and foster community and development, and also to promote tolerance and intercultural relations. Now, he holds a degree in accounting and has no formal religious education, believe it or not. But he wears suits and ties, and he has a clean-shaven face except for a trimmed mustache. Everything that you would not expect from a Muslim preacher. His website is also translated from Arabic into nearly 20 other languages, and it rivals Oprah Winfrey's in terms of traffic, believe it or not. Now, his videos have racked up over 90 million views on YouTube, and he has about 28 million likes on his Facebook page. Here we have at number 5, Habib Ali Zain al-Abidin el-Jafri. So tracing his lineage to the family of Ali, the 4th Caliph of Islam and the cousin of the Prophet Muhammad, al-Jafri is a leading Islamic scholar and a prominent speaker in the Muslim world. Al-Jafri is the Director General of the Taba Foundation in the UAE, and he's a member of the board of Dar al-Mustafa in Yemen, and also a member of the Royal Al-Bayt Institute for Islamic Thought in Jordan. Now, on top of that, he's affiliated with various other international Islamic organizations. His popularity was grown a lot over the past few years, with almost 15 million followers on different social media platforms, plus 500,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. Now, his inspirational speeches often leave many people crying in tears, and his smile and his gentleness really touch a lot of people that he meets. Now, despite not speaking English, he's in huge demand by English-speaking Muslims. Mu'azzez Massoud comes in at number 4. Mu'azzez Massoud is an Egyptian preacher, as well as a television and radio presenter, and also an activist who focuses on the field of contemporary spirituality, interfaith dialogue, and Islam in the modern world. Now, his engagement in media has been significant since year 2007, so that's over a decade now, when his first Arabic TV show debuted. And by now, his programs and appearances have acquired millions of viewers across the Arab world. Now, his Ramadan broadcast, Khutuwat al-Shaitan, this was widely viewed across the Arab world. And back in the year 2017, Massoud produced the Egyptian film Clash, which has been hailed as one of the most telling depictions of modern Egypt in film. And also the film was selected to represent Egypt in the Oscars in 2017 for the Best Foreign Language Film category. Massoud is active in various social media sites, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and in 2019 he announced the production of a film about the Christchurch mosque shootings, in which 55 people ended up losing their life, and it will be entitled Hello Brother, and this is according to one of the victims of the shooting. Next up at number 3, we have Abdullah II ibn al-Hussein. Now, King Abdullah II is the constitutional monarch of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan and the supreme commander of the Jordan Arab Army. He's also the custodian of the Muslim and Christian holy sites in Jerusalem. He influences 7 million Jordanians, as well as promotes outreach to traditional Islam. In response to growing Islamophobia in the West in the wake of the 9/11 attacks and the rise in sectarian strife, King Abdullah II, he launched the Aman Message Initiative, which was unanimously adopted by the Islamic world's political and temporal leaderships. King Abdullah II is also credited with the Royal Al-Bayt Institute for Islamic Thought's most authoritative website on the Holy Quran and the Tafsir. Now, this guy is a busy man because he also founded the World Islamic Sciences as well as Education University in Jordan. Now, back in the year 2012, King Abdullah II, he set up integrated professorial chairs for the study of the work of Imam Ghazali at the Aqsa Mosque and Imam Razi at the King Hussein Mosque. And also, in addition to everything that he's done, in 2014, he established a fellowship for the study of love in religion at Regent's Park College, Oxford University. Here we have at number 2, Sayyid Ali Husseini Khamenei. Grand Ayatollah Khamenei is the second supreme leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Now, he was born in Mashhad and he studied in the leading Iranian religious seminary. All that before becoming involved in the struggle with the Pahlavi regime in the 60s as well as in the 70s. Now, he was a key figure in the revolution in the year 1979, and he served as president between 1981 to 1989 before succeeding Ayatollah Khomeini as a supreme leader. He has vocally supported most of the unrest in the Arab world, likening it to the Iranian Revolution. Khomeini leads 77.7 million Iranians. And finally, at number 1, we have Erdogan. Now, Erdogan was the Prime Minister of Turkey for 11 years. Erdogan is the current president of Turkey. Now, during his term serving the country, Turkey has seen unprecedented economic growth as well as constitutional reforms and a reemergence as a major global power. Being a Sunni Muslim leader, he's influenced 75.7 million Turkish citizens. And we could see Turkey's rise on the political scale as well as its military scale and economic scale. So this is why currently we ranked him as the #1 most influential Muslim. Starting off at number 10, we have Sana Khan. Now, I included her in this list because she has sent a shockwave throughout the religious world, but not just the religious world, the entertainment world as well. And this was because of her recent decision. Something tells me though that it has also inspired a lot of people that are probably going to do the same, but who knows, we'll just have to wait and see. Either way, Sana Khan, who is she? Well, she is a former Indian actress, model, and dancer, and she began her career as a model and went on to appear on TV commercials as well as starring in feature films. She was also a finalist on the reality TV show Big Boss back in the year 2012, and that really helped push her to stardom. But in this year, October 8th, 2020, Sana Khan, she announced to the world that she quit the film industry. And she also said that she was thinking a lot about her purpose of her existence on this planet, and then she shared that she tried to search for her answers for her questions, and then she realized that the purpose of life was really to actually attain life after death and help people do that as well. So she announced to the world, therefore I declare today that from today onwards I have resolved to say goodbye to my showbiz lifestyle forever and serve humanity and follow the orders of my creator. Hasan Minhaj comes in at number 9. He is a comedian, a writer, a producer, an actor, as well as now a TV host. He's now known mostly for his Netflix show Patriot Act. He's a stand-up comedian, and his special called Homecoming King debuted on Netflix in May of 2017. He grew up a Muslim in California, United States, and he says that his Muslim faith has really helped his comedy. He says that his faith has allowed him to see things in a very unique perspective, and he also brings up a lot of his personal experiences when it comes to his work. After several years of working at The Daily Show and the success of his stand-up comedy special, he then went on to have his own TV show, and in Patriot Act, episodes come out weekly, and it's a show where he uses comedy to address social, political, and cultural issues in the world. Number 8 brings us Mohamed Salah. Everyone knows Mohamed Salah. He's a Sunni Muslim and an Egyptian football player, and he's not only achieved greatness, but he also has a lot of influence on people. Mohamed Salah plays on the team Liverpool, where he broke many records so far, and he's getting a lot of recognition for this. He also helped Egypt qualify for the World Cup because, of course, him being an Egyptian, he plays on the Egyptian national football team. He's also played a huge role in changing people's perspective about Islam because people see him on the field. He's a cool guy. He's very accepting, very open. At the same time, though, he's seen praying on the field. So he's a very dedicated Muslim, and at the same time, he does his best to work really well with his teammates and also have a positive impact on humanity. Bella Hadid comes in at number 7. Bella Hadid is short for Isabella Hadid, and she was born in Washington, D.C. in the United States, and she's famously known for being a supermodel who has represented some of the top brands in the entire world. She is half Palestinian, and she originally attended the Parsons School of Design, where she was studying photography, and then she ended up completely dropping out of school because of her modeling career. It was just skyrocketing. Bella Hadid has also announced that she is a very proud Muslim, and she has helped to inspire a new generation of young people to take up modeling as well as pursue other creative passions that they have. Celebrity up next is Shah Rukh Khan, the king of Bollywood. He's an Indian actor as well as a film producer and also a TV host. He's a legendary Indian actor, a film producer, as well as a TV personality, and he is a proud Muslim. According to Shah Rukh Khan, he strongly believes in the values of Islam, but he also does his best to work with his wife and respect her religion because she is Hindu. And he also said that his children are free to follow both religions. He doesn't force his religion on his family. But according to him, he has the Quran as well as Hindu deities that are set up at his house. Mr. Shah Rukh Khan, aka King Khan, he has appeared in more than 80 Bollywood films, and he has won a lot of awards over his career. Following suit at number 5, we have Salman Khan, another legendary Indian actor. He's also a film producer, and sometimes he is seen singing on camera. Over his career, he's received many awards like Filmfare Awards and National Film Awards. And actually recently on Forbes 2018 list of top paid 100 celebrity entertainers, he made it to that list. He ranked 82nd. So that's way into his career, and he's still one of the 100 highest paid actors in the entire world. He also is someone who identifies as Muslim because his father was Muslim, but his mother was Hindu. So sometimes he describes himself as being Muslim and Hindu at the same time. The celebrity at number 4 is Huda Kattan. Now she owns and operates Huda Beauty, the YouTube channel. She's ultra successful, and she's one of the best known social media influencers in the Middle East, but not just in the Middle East. Her influence spans the entire globe. She was born in Oklahoma City to Iraqi parents, and after she really battled with self-esteem and self-image issues because of a lot of bullying that she faced, she turned to makeup to help this. And then later on, she moved to Dubai, and then she gained a lot of social media popularity after her makeup tutorials and advice videos started to blow up on YouTube. Huda Kattan, she has a net worth of $610 million, and she was featured on Forbes 2019 list of America's richest self-made women. Next, I want to talk about Muhammad Ali. He's the only celebrity in this episode who has passed away, and when you think about the greatest Muslim athletes of all time, one of the first names that people think of is Muhammad Ali. He was known to many as the greatest boxer ever born, and he won every big boxing title that he went in. Muhammad Ali, he defeated more champions and top contenders than any other heavyweight champion in history. But he wasn't just known for boxing, he was known for his activist work in America to promote racial equality, as well as he went on to be a major voice for Islam in America. Next celebrity to look at is Gigi Hadid. Yelena Noura Hadid, also known as Gigi Hadid, was born April 23rd, 1995, and she is an American fashion model. She's made appearances on countless amount of magazine covers. Gigi, she was signed to IMG Models back in the year 2013, and then in November of 2014, she made her debut on the top 50 models ranking at models.com. And then fast forward in 2016, she was named International Model of the Year by the British Fashion Council. She, of course, is Palestinian American, and she's also the sister of Bella Hadid, and she also is a very proud Muslim. Currently, right now, she has a following on Instagram of over 60 million people. Now, the celebrity that we're going to end this episode off with is Imran Khan. From celebrity to politician, Imran Khan was a national cricketer and the captain of the Pakistani national cricket team, and he led them to victory in the 1992 Cricket World Cup. Now, he became Prime Minister of Pakistan back in the year 2018, and this was all a result of his influence that he had. People believed that he could actually move the country forward and help solve issues in the government, as well as reduce corruption in the country. Imran Khan is considered to be a great influencer, and he leads over 220 million people, which is Pakistan's current population. And he's also a major influential force for people of Pakistan who have moved to different parts of the world. Because of his influence over an entire large nation, well, that's one of the reasons why he's number 1 in this episode. Number 10 brings us Malala Yousafzai. Malala Yousafzai originates from Pakistan, and she was born into a Muslim family. She identifies as a feminist and also a devout Muslim. Now, she's seen as a prime example of a strong woman in her religion who works tirelessly to make the world a more equitable place for females. Not just Muslim females, but all females. Now, she was recognized a lot more in the world as being the girl at the age of 14 years old who was hit in the face with a bullet by the Taliban. And this is a tragic story because she was standing up for female rights at the time. Luckily though, she was able to recover from this incident, and after she was hit in the face with the bullet, Malala was sent to a hospital in Pakistan, and then she was actually brought to a hospital in the UK for further treatments. She now resides in Birmingham with her family, and she was able to build her life in a new, completely different country. Malala attended Oxford University and has since then actually become the youngest person ever to win the UN's Nobel Peace Prize for her work in fighting for women's rights in education, and so she's seen as an inspiration across the world. Next, we're shifting gears quite a bit and looking at King Salman, the King of Saudi and the custodian of the two holy mosques. That's the title that he's given. His Majesty King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud was proclaimed the 7th King of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in January 2015, after the passing of his predecessor, King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz. Prior to his role as king, he was in the position of the crown prince for 3 years. His influence as a Muslim comes from being a monarch of the most powerful Arab nation, and his role within Saudi Arabia plays in 3 critical areas. First area is having the 2 holy cities of Mecca and Medina, which millions of Muslims visit all around the year. And the next thing is exporting crude oil and refined petroleum products, which ensures that it plays a central role in international trade. And of course, it helps bring the money in. And then the third thing is propagating Islam through its huge network, which makes its influence really felt in all other Muslim countries. So as you can see, he is a very powerful person. We're traveling now to America to look at Ibtihaj Muhammad. Now, back in the year 2016, Ibtihaj Muhammad was the first ever female American to wear a hijab in the Olympic Games. At that time, she won a bronze medal in the team saber event. But of course, this was an historical moment. This was the first ever. She has been quoted as saying, "I speak English, I like wearing bright colors, I'm athletic, and I'm on Team USA." Her hope is to diminish people's belief that Muslim women are docile, oppressed, and only wear black clothing. She also wants to break out of that mold and showcase the strength of women in her religion. And she's not stopping anytime soon, so who knows where we're gonna see her next. She's gonna continue to be competing somewhere. Maybe when all this COVID stuff is done, finally we'll have another Olympic Games. We'll see. The person at number 7 is Prime Minister Imran Khan. Imran Khan is the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and he took office in 2018, and at the time there were huge expectations that he could move the country forward on issues of governance, accountability, and reduction of all sorts of corruption happening in the country. Now, his role on the international stage is quite a big task because Pakistan, of course, is a major player in international relations across the globe. Even many non-Muslims, they know that he was actually an international cricket star and the captain of Pakistan's national cricket team before entering into politics. Number 6 brings us Dr. Amr Khalid. He's a preacher and social activist. His influence in the Islamic world comes from his work as a televangelist. He has been doing this work since 1998, so quite a while. He's very experienced in this. Amr is well known for communicating through his TV show and web campaigns using Islamic ethics as a way to inspire, foster community development, and develop tolerance and intercultural relations. Amr was once called the world's most famous and influential Muslim television preacher. Back in the year 2007, Amr was chosen as one of the world's 100 most influential people by Time magazine. Continuing now to number 5, here we have Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar was America's first ever Somali American Muslim lawmaker. She began her life in a refugee camp over in Kenya where her family had escaped Somalia's civil war. And then from there, she immigrated to the United States in the year 1995, and she was thrown off by the country's inequalities. She was thinking in her mind, America, everybody's equal, right? But that wasn't the case. That wasn't her experience coming into the country. And it was her grandfather who actually was the one to convince her to enter politics if she wanted to see a change in the world. And he urged her to run for office in order to help other people. And then fast forward now to the year 2016, she was elected to the Minnesota House of Representatives, where she brings, and I quote, a perusal perspective to Americans' heated debate about admitting immigrants and refugees. Next up, we're going to talk about King Mohammed VI. King Mohammed VI is actually a direct descendant of the Muslim prophet Muhammad. His family has ruled Morocco Morocco for about 400 years or close to it. Now, he has huge influence in the religion of Islam, and he really influences domestic reform policies, and he also pioneers efforts in modernizing Morocco and countering terrorism. He also works endlessly to tackle the issues of poverty, vulnerability, and also social exclusion in his home country. He has even done quite well at improving Morocco's foreign relations. It's also said that King Mohammed VI influences the network of Muslims following the Maliki school of Islamic jurisprudence and is a leading monarch in Africa. We're going to be talking about Keith Ellison next, and he was the first Muslim ever to serve in American Congress. In 2006, he was sworn into office under the oath of the Quran. Most people are swearing on the Bible. But no, he was sworn in with the Quran. And Keith recalls this moment as one of the most memorable days of his entire life. He was quoted as saying, "Islam informs how he sees the world, but his job is to represent a diverse congressional district, not a religion." And thinking about it, it's quite remarkable when we see progression happening, and it also shows us that we need more of it. And this was only in 2016. That's not that long ago, but luckily we are seeing changes. We're coming close to the end of this episode. Number 2 brings us Nyla Limas. She represents Modest Models. She is a Muslim woman who truly believes that modesty can be just as beautiful as any other form of modeling. Nyla wants to focus a lot on bringing a positive light to the female Muslim community. She is a trailblazer in her industry, now having her own fashion line as well as a modeling agency. She wants to show the world how beautiful Islam can be and highlight how beautiful the women truly are. But not just externally beautiful, also inwardly beautiful as well. So she's doing a lot of great work. She really is a definition of an influencer. And the final Muslim with influence in our world today that we're going to look at is President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. President Erdogan is the president of the Republic of Turkey, and he's been in office for over a decade, winning 3 consecutive elections with a majority vote. Now, in the year 2014, he became Turkey's first popularly elected president. During his time in office, the country has seen unprecedented economic growth, constitutional reform, as well as re-emergence as a major global power. He is an unapologetic figure and is not quiet about being a major supporter of Muslim issues around the world. And he's looked up to by not just Muslims in Turkey, but Muslims from all around the world as well. He was one of the central voices even in the recent incident with Charlie Hebdo and France. We have the first scholar at number 10, and that is Shabir Ali. Now, Shabir Ali is a Canadian Muslim scholar, and he's also the president of the Islamic Information and Dawah Center International in Toronto, Canada. And that's where he serves as the Imam. Now, Shabir Ali is also the founder of an online show, and it's called Let the Quran Speak. By the way, you can find his videos here on YouTube as well. He has a PhD, and his PhD thesis is on the exegesis of the Quran. And by the way, that fancy word exegesis just means explanation or interpretation. Now, I've actually attended a debate where Shabir Ali was speaking, and he was debating another Christian scholar, and I have to say that this guy was very knowledgeable and he articulated his points really well. All around, he's a great guy.
So Ramadan is closely connected with the Quran. This is why Muslims make it a habit of reading the Quran more so in Ramadan than any other time.
Moving on now to number 9, we have Bilal Phillips. His full name is Abu Amina Bilal Phillips, and he's recognized for founding the Islamic Online University, and he's a Jamaican Canadian Islamic scholar. Back in the year 1972, that's when he converted to Islam, and he has translated as well as commented on various Islamic topics on over 50 published books. He completed his PhD in Islamic theology back in the year 1994 from the University of Wales. And by the way, among some of his works that he's translated were The Devil's Deception, and his co-authored works are Polygamy in Islam, Evolution of Fiqh, The Ansar Cult, The Fundamentals of Tawheed, and Hajj and Umrah according to the Quran and Sunnah. Number 8 brings us Yasmin Mogahed. Yasmin Mogahed is known for captivating her audience. Like really, like she's known internationally for her motivational lectures. Now she's a psychology graduate and she got her master's in journalism as well as mass communications from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. So of course, that sort of speaks to how she's able to just really communicate with a massive amount of people in a very effective way. She's also the first Muslim woman to become an instructor at the Al-Maghrib Institute. So very amazing achievement for her.
When I was young, we had a lot of youth training. We used to call it Minna at that age, or YM.
And on that note, number 7 brings us Dalia Mogahed. Dalia Mogahed is an American researcher and she's originally from Egypt. Now she's a director of research at the Institute of Social Policy and Understanding in Washington, D.C. Just last year in 2019, she was recognized in the list of 200 people who best embody the spirit of work of Frederick Douglass, who's one of the most influential figures in history by the Frederick Douglass Family Initiatives and the Anti-Racist Research and Policy Center at American University in collaborations with The Guardian. Now, she was also selected as an advisor by the US President Barack Obama, or I should say former US President, but specifically she was an advisor on the White House Office of Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnerships. So of course, she was able to have a huge impact under the Obama administration. Number 6 brings us Omar Suleiman. Imam Omar Suleiman is the president of the Yaqin Institute for Islamic Research, as well as a teacher of Islamic studies at Southern Methodist University. Now he's also the inhabitant researcher of the Valley Ranch Islamic Center. And by the way, he's also co-chair of Faith Forward Dallas at Thanksgiving Square. And that, by the way, is a multi-confidence organization together for peace and equity. And just to speak a little bit more of who he is, he's an American Muslim scholar, civil rights activist. Omar Suleiman also founded the Muslims Understanding and Helping Special Education Needs, which is a non-profit organization. He also has a series on the Quran weekly that is published, as well as he makes contributions to the Hadith of the Day. Moving on now to the scholar at number 5, and that is Numan Ali Khan. He's a founder of the Bayana Ustad. He's an American preacher that connects Muslims to the Quran. Now, by the way, he's taught more than 10,000 students through seminars, and this guy literally has millions of followers. He's recognized all around the world as one of the young and most influential Western Muslim scholars. Number 4 brings us Mufti Menk. I've been seeing this guy's name quite often in the comment section. You guys are asking for videos about him. Ismail ibn Musa Menk, better known as Mufti Menk. He's a renowned Islamic preacher as well as a Mufti of Zimbabwe. He's the head of the Fatwa department of the Majlisul Ulama Zimbabwe, and that's the Council of the Islamic Scholars of Zimbabwe. And he also serves as the Imam at the Masjid Al-Falah. Mufti Menk, he's a phenomenal inspirational speaker and lecturer, and he's known around the world. And one of the most inspiring things about this guy is that he really just works mainly for the joy of serving Allah. And he does this without little to no financial reward. Yusuf Estes comes in at number 3. Now, Yusuf Estes, who was born Joseph Estes back in the year 1944, and he's an American minister from Texas, and he converted from Christianity to Islam back in the year 1991. According to him, he claims to have been a Muslim chaplain for the United States Bureau of Prisons throughout the 1990s, as well as he served as a Muslim delegate to the United Nations World Peace Conference for Religious Leaders, and that was held at the UN in September 2000. Number 2 brings us Maulana Tariq Jamil, and by the way, I've done a video just dedicated to him, so that's probably going to be in the video description down below, a link to that video, as well as maybe in the card section of this episode. But either way, Tariq Jamil was born in January of 1953. He's of Pakistani descent. He's a religious and Islamic researcher, evangelist, as well as he's an open speaker. He's from the Tablighi Jamaat and a researcher who runs a madrasa in Faisalabad, Pakistan. And he was also recognized as an impactful and influential speaker in the 2013-2014 version of the book Muslim 500. We got one more Islamic scholar left, and at number 1, that is Dr. Zakir Naik. Zakir Zakir Abdul Karim Naik is an Indian Islamic evangelist as well as an author, and he's the leader of the Islamic Research Foundation. He's also the author of the Peace TV channel, where, by the way, he receives over 100 million viewers. Now, there's a lot of appeal when it comes to Dr. Zakir Naik because he actually aims to clear up misconceptions about Islam and the Quran and the Hadith. And when he does his explaining, he uses a lot of science as well. So unlike many other Islamic preachers, his lectures are actually delivered in the common language that people can understand. And he delivers them in English and not in Urdu or Arabic. Of course, English is a much wider spoken language than any of those languages.